Hey y'all, this is Ramblin Chris, and today we're going to be changing the rear brake pads. To change the rear brake pads, the easiest way will be to remove the rear wheel. Though it is possible to simply remove the pins and slide the pads out. If you do decide that you want to do it that way, you're going to have to get these pads pried apart while the caliper is still on the bike, and honestly that'll be your biggest challenge, getting the pistons to fully retract so you can slide in the new pads. All right, so I'm gonna get this rear wheel removed, and then we're gonna move on. Now if you watch my front brake pad changing video, this is honestly gonna be exactly the same. If you haven't watched it, continue for the rest of the video. So the first thing we need to do is remove these two pins here. That takes a 12.1 socket, and you just run those out. Okay, and then the pads just drop right out. If you look at these pads, they're worn pretty evenly, and they have maybe a millimeter left on them, which is exactly what my spec sheet says. Now on the rear, I'm going to be putting in the exact same brake pads as I did on the front, which is these Lindell 7195 Gold Plus. They seem pretty good. I have no complaints about the ones I put on the front, so I'm going to use them again. So you're going to need to pry the pistons out. So I take the old brake pads, take a screwdriver, and just kind of pry them out. I already did that, so let's see if I have enough room to put these pads back in. Well, the pads made it in, but I'm never gonna get that brake disc back in there, so gonna need some more out of this. Once you get the pistons spread out enough, put your pins back in, and then you can reinstall the brake caliper onto the rear swing arm, and then reinstall the rear wheel. Now, as far as reinstalling this, you just have that slide that sits there, and your axle goes through the center there, so you put this on just like you would reinstall the rear wheel. At some point in the future, I will do a video on that, the reinstallation. So it is just the reverse of removing the wheels. I'm in the process of buying a new house, and I'm going to set up a full bike shop there, so I can do all my work easier instead of trying to work out here in the driveway. Well, that's how you do the rear brakes. Just make sure that you spray off your brake disc one more time, because you're probably going to have touched it a bit. You're going to have some grease on there. But other than that, that's all there is to it. Until next time, this has been Ramblin' Chris.